right, you guys, let's get it rolling. I know you guys are busy on a Wednesday night, got all kinds of stuff going on with kiddos at home. So first of all, I just want to thank you guys all for registering for this spring semester of ours with Experience Golf. And always, first and foremost, thank you to you guys as parents for getting your kids signed up for this program, letting your kids learn the game of golf. But I know for sure that without parents like you guys signing kids up for golf and for fun activities in general, then the programs that we get to do throughout the golf season simply don't happen. So super appreciative of all of you guys for joining the program. You guys will hear more, but overall, just always let us know. We're always here for you guys if you guys ever have questions or goals for the kids, or even if you as yourself want lessons or want to learn how to play, we've got you. So I see some familiar names, I'd say mostly familiar, some new names on here. So I just want to cover really briefly what Operation 36 is and what that program is. So I think a lot of you guys have a good sense, but some of you guys might even learn some things or have a good reminder of what we're getting into here. So Operation 36 is a player development program for golf. It's designed initially for juniors, but it's used all around the country for any golfer of all ages. It is technically designed for a beginning golfer to get somebody into the game and make it a little less intimidating. However, it's good for all ages and abilities, or all like even skilled golfers can go back to the fundamentals in Op 36 and practice the things that we teach our students and really help their games. Like, for example, even if I'm like having a hard time scoring or playing well on the golf course, I can always go back and be practicing from 25, 50, or 100 to work on scoring. So it was initially designed from two golf professionals in North Carolina, where they were running a really good junior program of a bunch of kids. They're teaching them how to putt on the putting green, all kinds of fun games, teaching them on the driving range and chipping, all the skills. But then they would send them home for the week, and whether it was mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, somebody would take them to play, take the kids out, and the kids had no idea how to actually play golf. So didn't know where to start at the tee box or what the goal was of getting the ball in the hole and the putting green, the flag stick, and all that stuff. So that's the main goal of Operation 36, is it's really centered around playing. If you guys have been in the program before, you know that. And that's kind of what sets us apart from different golf instructional programs, which is awesome. And it's my favorite part about it, is that these kids actually really get to learn how to play the game and hopefully fall in love with it by getting to play and not just being on practice facilities all the time. So that's kind of the gist as far as that goes. It is comparable to like a Taekwondo program where they start at 25 yards. Once they shoot 36, they move back to 50. Once they shoot 50, back to 100. In our program, once you pass at 100, you play from the big course or play on the big course, and you go to 150. So that's super exciting. It's a fun like milestone to achieve, and the kids seem to really look forward to that. So that's one thing that is just really great, is that they can hone in those short game skills, which a lot of like amateur golfers and even pros out there on tour struggle with, but they like understand the importance of it right away. We absolutely have days where they can go up and hit drivers and have fun with that, because I know they all love it. As skill wise, they really get to hone in on their short game first and foremost. So that's awesome. So as far as like I said, with those yardages, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 being 25, 50, and 100, for those of you who are returning, you guys probably noticed that the classes on the website are no longer called Learn to Play, Train to Compete, and Train to Excel. So we're just kind of trying to streamline the program in that it's a little easier to know when you sign up for the next class. I know we had some questions, and even it was kind of a gray area as far as like, okay, my kid has been in, Division 1 for this long. How do we know when to level up? So pretty easy to know now is that our program, and then also a lot of programs around the country, are going to do golf less based on their age and more based on so even if you have a young kid, but they're really skilled, they're still going to be able to level up with kids their same ability so that they don't get bored and can still be super confident in their skills. So now Division 1 is if you're at 25 yards. Division 2 is if you're at 50, and Division 3 right now at this moment is for 100 and up. So 150 is also going to be at that Division 3 level. As we have more kids progress up, those names will probably change. So if you have no idea what I mean by the yardages, your child is probably at Division 2, and that's a really good fit. So jumping right in, as far as like the changes that I just wanted to get a lot of you on here and communicate to you guys, is the schedule just might look a little bit different. So basically this year and this spring, but then it'll be for June, July, and the fall as well, they'll all be the same. Is like if you look at your calendar, everybody starts next week. So there'll be a class next week. So say if your kid is in the Tuesday class, they're going to start Tuesday the 26th. They'll have class on the 26th, practice on Saturday the 30th. And that same thing for the first week in May. So class on the 3rd, practice on the 7th, class on the 10th, practice on the 14th, class on the 17th, practice on the 21st. And then instead of that class being that week, what we did is we added an additional match so that all the kids get a third attempt to pass and rank up to the next yardage. So then on the 27th, it should be, they'll have a third match or a third 9-hole event. So if you hear us say match or 9-hole event, it's the same thing that we're talking about. So essentially it's 4 straight weeks of class during the week, practice on Saturday. And then on week 2, 4, and 5 is a 9-hole event. So just keep in mind that the biggest thing here is we don't want anybody to accidentally show up on that 5th week for class, because there won't be class that week, just a 9-hole event. So that's the big thing there. Like I said, it'll be the same this spring as it will be for June, July, and the fall semester. And as we're talking about that, just for you guys to keep in mind, some of those are already filling up to some extent. So if you do have interest, or in these next couple of weeks, if your kid comes home and says that they really like it and are really enjoying it, don't waste any time in signing up, because our wait list can get pretty long. And I'm sure they'll start filling up here pretty soon. So make sure you get in those spots if you want them. Just to touch quick for anybody who's new, but also a good refresher for returning families, the difference between class, practice, and 9-hole events. I think as coaches, we do a pretty good job at explaining to your kids on the first day that difference. So they should have a pretty good idea of what they're showing up to. But I don't know that we've done the best job explaining to you guys that difference. So during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, for that hour, either 4 to 5, 5 to 6, whatever class you're in, there's 12 kids. So this year we're really sure too that we're capping that. So we make sure all the kids get really good one-on-one attention, really good quality in these classes, rather than having a lot of kids in there. But the class for that hour is focused on their curriculum. So that's curriculum is given to us by Operation 36, and then we can build it into the program that we want to give. So if you have come to class before and dropped off your kid, you've noticed that we really don't dilly-dally very much. We kind of get them together. I try to start right on time. I really want to respect your guys' time and know that you have a lot going on. So if your kid is running a little late, don't be offended that we get started, but we like to start really promptly right on time, because that hour goes so fast. So sometimes we'll take a little time to like do a little fitness, and we really just do that if they seem like they're coming off of school really energetic and excited. So we'll kind of do some exercises, but typically we like to have a quick chat with them in the beginning about like a kind of emotional management or gratitude or resiliency. So something kind of like similar to, like a core value or respect or something. It just depends on the week. But then also if we notice like something from a mat or a 9-hole event that we like some positive behavior that we notice, we'll really try to highlight that next week. Or we'll talk about, what they learned in those matches. So that first like 5 to 10 minutes, we do sit down and just get set. But we like to talk to them about that stuff that they can bridge from the golf course to life, like gratitude or resilience, things like that. So then we break into those two groups and we go like really heavy into the curriculum that they are learning. There's a lot of curriculum. So in the 4 weeks, we usually have a couple topics, or each week we'll have a couple topics that we're trying to teach them. And it kind of depends on the class. Like the younger groups, like that Division I, we take it easy and give them just a couple things. But then as the kids get older, we really are able to build on that. So that's the basis of what that class is. So let's say week 1, like we'll work on grip and posture and aim, like their setup. And then they'll have all of that curriculum hopefully kind of set in their brain so that then when they come on Saturday, that supervised practice, they're really working on what we talked about in class. So that's the purpose of that supervised practice. It's really cool. We've noticed that a lot of the kids in our program, and some of you guys who are on the call, I've talked to a lot of you that your kids have gotten good really fast. And it's something that I've been really surprised at with my time in this role, is how fast a lot of these kids are getting. And in talking to other coaches around the country, not a lot of programs do a Saturday supervised practice. So we're really figuring out that is a good opportunity for them to really strengthen their skills, seeing as how most programs really have kids come once a week and then they come back another week. And if they go out on their own time, then that's super lucky. But that's not typically the case. So that's why I think a lot of the kids are getting better, which is great to see. So that's kind of the idea with the practice. The first practice, we do get them into stations and we move them around so that they understand kind of like a structured way to practice. And the whole goal of this is to teach them how to manage their own practice so that if you guys do take them to the golf course and as they get older, they know, like me as a kid, I've just practiced to me was hitting balls for an hour. Not exactly what we want them to be doing. So teaching them to bounce around and go putt and go chip or go play a couple holes. We have a bunch of coaches out there on Saturdays. Depending on the group, if it seems like they're able to stay focused and be really safe, we'll let them be a little more independent and with their time. And instead of saying, hey, you need to switch stations right now, we'll let them go to the range. And then when they're done, move on. And like I said, be a little more independent in that practice. Just kind of depends on the group we have, but we like to do that so that they feel like they're able to use that time how they want. And then that 9-hole event, this is the last thing that is review. So for those of you who have already been in the program, I'm almost done with this stuff. So the 9-hole event, basically it's from 4 to 6. You guys are welcome to show up like really anytime after 3:15. If you want to come acclimate and practice and warm up that early, you may. I'd say most people show up at like 3. I really ask that you guys are there before 4, because right at 4 o'clock, I like to bring everybody over to that hill. We announce, make sure everybody has a scorecard and a pencil, and we let everybody know what hole they're going to start on. So it's a shotgun. Sometimes there's 2 groups on every hole. So I know sometimes those go a little bit slow, but with the group that we have, it's nice to have everybody go out at the same time, and we'll let them know who all is in their group. So again, just to be clear, the class has 12 kids, and then for practices and the 9-hole events, it's all the kids that are in the semester. So usually that's about, it can be like 55 to 60 or like a little more kids, because it's all the kids that are enrolled in the semester at the time. So basically the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this as far as those 9-hole events go is that it's not a tournament. It's really not a competition, and that's not what we want them to feel it as. We really want them to feel like it's their chance to go play and have a play day and test their skills and show what they've practiced and show what they learned. That's why we like to have a parent out there with every kid to manage their safety, manage them moving along the course and help them out and help them feel supported. but also really want you guys as parents to see what they're doing and for them to have the pride in showing you guys all that they're learning. So those 9-hole events are the best. They're super awesome. I have like these stacked. These are the scorecards we give you guys. On here is like green and regulation, total putts. Some of you guys keep those stats. If you don't, that's totally fine, but we love for you to. And I'll show you why here in a minute. So if you guys have your app, hopefully I think you guys have all created that account like I sent in the email, and then downloaded the app on the phone. I'm going to try to show you guys here just so you can get a good sense, but it's going to be this one in the corner, that Op36 Golf. So sorry, everything I'm showing you is going to be backwards on the phone, but basically this Op36 Golf app, it's orange. When you're logged in and have your child's profile on there, there's a couple options. So there's one option on the far left to play golf. It's the green with the white flag. Anytime your child goes out to play for fun with you, par 3 or full 9, if they go play with anybody, grandma, grandpa, friend, on their own, please put that in the app. So super important this year, like that we're putting in all of their training and all their playing so that we can follow their progress. And then the blue one next is training their skills. So even if that means they go in the backyard and they're like chipping around with wiffle balls for 20 minutes, put that in the app so that we know. Because the next one that's really cool is reviewing their goals. So this orange kind of clipboard is where I and the other coaches can go on their account and set goals for them. So maybe that's, hey, the next 9-hole event, let's see if you can have less than 15 putts. I don't know, whatever it is. But if you're not putting in the app, we don't know what a realistic goal is. So if there's a kid who's like really practicing a lot, putting it in there, we can give them maybe a little more challenging goal. Whereas if we're not seeing a whole lot of activity in there, we're going to assume that they need like a little more of a relaxed goal. The last thing as far as this like homepage for them goes is viewing the curriculum. So this is probably the coolest part of this app that I think is a little underutilized, partially on me that I haven't done a very good job communicating to all of you how great this is to use. So basically all of the curriculum that we're teaching them week to week is here in the app in videos. You can't quite see that, but in the orange rank for starting out all these videos. So the goal is that if your kid can watch these and then come to class, or come to class and then go home and watch it, then it's really like emphasizing that information. So what's cool here is once your child passes from 25, this is the thing is, let's say they haven't watched any videos. I'm never going to hold a kid back from playing from 50 the next time just because they haven't watched the videos in the app. But if they have watched the videos and they have required on here to go to the next level is like a certain amount of practice that you'll log in there, then they can go to the level 2, the next one that's applicable to the 50 yards. But you can see on there how that one's locked is because I don't have all those videos watched on this account, and I don't have that practice logged. So you're probably thinking, okay, like this is kind of a lot and maybe a bit overwhelming, but a big reason why we do want everybody on the app and honestly bigger than all of that, like the training and the videos, is for the communication aspect. So you guys probably saw in my email that all of the communication really after this week with you guys is gonna be on the app. So if you're on the homepage here, you can see on the top right, there's that bell with the notifications. So if it's a Friday 9-hole event and it's getting kind of dark clouds, which happens a lot on Fridays at 4 in the summer, as a lot of you guys have noticed, if we're going to delay or cancel, you're just going to get a quick little notification to your phone through the app that's going to let you know that. So instead of trying to refresh your email and sending an email to the whole group and you guys kind of trying to figure that out, it's just going to pop up on your phone. So hopefully that should be a lot easier for you guys. But then also like this huge resource for the kids to be able to see all these videos. And luckily they are also tech savvy that I'm sure they'll be fine. But also as parents, if you guys want to watch the videos too, it's applicable to everybody. It's really not, it's not very like juvenile. It's really something that everybody can watch and like the whole family can learn from. So really good stuff on there. So just a reminder, the 9-hole events are team logs. So you do not have to do that. You don't have to put in scores for the event. We'll do that because it's a whole like community thing for us. But if they come to Saturday supervised practice, you're more than welcome to put that in the app. So a lot of you guys have been really good. I will tell you guys, and I'll send in an email as well here in a couple of days, is the student who has the most points from logging, training, or playing, I'll give a free 30-minute lesson to at the end of the semester. And I'll do that for all 4 semesters. So hopefully a little incentive for you guys to get some points in there. Or hopefully maybe if your kid is a little more competitive, that might excite them to practice and play a little bit. Almost done here, you guys. I won't keep you for this full time. But I do want to show you one last thing here as far as the website and the app goes is on my end, I am able to see, which is really cool. I can see like all the points that all the families have, which is great. I do want to use, or I want to show you guys a really cool thing, and I'm going to use Christian here. They said that I could use him. So where are we? Is this him? I think. Okay, so this is a really cool resource that they recently came up with. And these guys, Bradley and Christian, they do a great job at like putting in when they practice and play. So that's how he has all these points in here. But basically, we get to see these reports as coaches. So if I click on junior development model, and each and every one of your kids has this, even if they haven't done a single 9-hole event, they all have this really cool chart, which is called the junior development model. So essentially what this is we can pick here and say what track each child has as a goal. So do they want to maybe play golf recreationally when they grow up and maybe be a 10 to 20 handicap, or either side of that, right? So if they wanted to be a college golfer and have a 0 handicap, this is where they would try to be by age 10. So I know this is a little bit intense, but it's really cool to see that, like, for example, Christian, by 10 years old, if he is at 150 yards, then he's on track to be a scratch player in high school. Super, super cool. That's, maybe not everybody's goal, and that's totally fine. A lot of people are just learning the game for fun, but we can also put it in here and kind of say, okay, if you then pass Division I by the time you're 13, this is what that's gonna set you up for. So I think that that's super cool and just a fun thing to see for you guys. So if any of you guys are interested, especially those of you who have had your child in the program for a while, that little model is something that we could definitely sit down and chat about, or I can send it to you. We can have a phone call. For all of you, I really want you guys to know this year, like, we would love to have any conversations with you guys about goals for your child, or really just letting us know and communicating with us as coaches as far as what we can do to help your kids learn the best. You guys as parents know your kids better than anybody else. So if your kid maybe gets frustrated by a certain thing or gets excited by a certain thing, please let us know what those things are, because then when we have them in class, it can really help us to motivate them or communicate with them. If there's anything that really would help us help them learn, it's really a lot like a classroom environment when it comes down to it on the golf course. So even if the teachers at school have given you like any cues to use with your kids, we would love to use them. We're always trying to learn like the Quiet Coyote and like all the stuff that they get in the schools to help the kids learn. So as far as that goes, like I said, with the app, the kids who have the one kid who has the highest points, I'll give a free 30-minute lesson to. But additional prizes are available to the kids throughout this season for the practice throughout the weeks and throughout the semester. So let us know on that, or like if you have any questions. I do see a question in here already. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. So if your students have already successfully completed some of the levels, so let's say they have passed Division I, I think for some it's not showing up. So that's something I'm going to go through and do here, is make sure everybody's is up to date. I think some of the matches from the fall didn't update for everybody. So if your child leveled up in the fall, it might not be showing, but it should show here in the next week. I'm going to go through and make sure. The thing is, though, is that for a lot of the golfers who have passed 25, the reason you're still seeing the videos for the orange rank, for the 25-yard rank, is because there hasn't been enough practice logged to see the yellow curriculum. So as far as those videos go, which like I said is like the coolest resource ever in golf right now, to have these videos at their fingertips for kids, but anybody on the phone. So I think for Division I for 25 yards, they need like 5 hours of practice, which sounds like a lot. But if, like I said, if they go chip wiffle balls in the backyard for 30 minutes, put that in there and it'll chip away. It really won't turn out to too much. Last thing that I have for you guys is anytime I wrap up a class with the kids or a practice, I'll always ask them a couple questions like, what did you learn? What was the most, I think they don't like the question, what did you learn? It seems to me, I think they get that one in school a lot. So I like to ask them other questions like, what was the most hard thing? What was the most challenging? Or maybe what was the most fun? What was the easiest? And they talk to a partner about it. But then I also encourage them that when you pick them up and they get in the car or whoever their ride is, to tell you what they had just talked about with us. So I really encourage you guys to kind of try to pull some info out of your kids. I remember growing up, my brother, anytime he got picked up, it was like, I don't know, it was okay. Like the most brief one-word answers. So I know as parents, you guys are trying to have those conversations with them and get out of them, like if they're enjoying it or not, or what they're learning. So just for you guys to know that when you pick them up, they usually are ready to go with a couple questions that they should have the answer to share with you. But in my email coming up to you this week to get ready for next week, there will be a couple questions in there that you guys are safe to ask them every week that they should know the answer to, or have an answer to, as far as what we worked on, what they learned, just to reinforce all of the things that we're doing. So on my end, that is all that I have. But if anybody has any questions you would like to enter into the chat here or come off on mute and ask, you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions. Okay, I do have one. How do we see the target goals in the app? So if you're saying like, if a coach is going to assign you a goal, I think that might be what you're saying. Like if I assign your student a goal, then this orange button right here on your main profile is going to say reviewing my goals. You'll click that, and then and then you'll be able to see what that goal is. If that doesn't answer your question, let me know. I can answer it differently. As far, oh yeah.
Oh, hey, it's Mike. Just that one was one question, thank you. And then the other one was, how do you, that trajectory one you showed, as well as that for coach's view only, or can a parent see that?
Yeah, really good question. That is for a coach's view only, but if anybody wants to see that, just shoot me an email and I think we can print it and send it to you, but also like I always have my computer on me. So if you catch me in like after class and we're at the clubhouse or something, I can show anybody, but I can also, I can email it to you anytime. We can chat about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really cool resource and something new, kind of new in the last couple of years here that they've come up with, that I think would be cool to show kids. I think it's great for parents, but to show golfers and kids that, hey, if you would maybe want to be this good, it's super possible. This is just what you kind of need to do at these certain ages to be on track for that. So that's really good. Any other questions from you guys? I do appreciate all of you guys signing up. You guys have gotten on this app really well, better than any other semester so far. So you guys have done great. So yes, to answer the question, I did get a question about the classes by the yardage. So yeah, for that, Division 1 is primarily what we're wanting for it to be is kids that are at 25 yards. So if your child is at 50, they would be in Division 2. If they're at 100 or 150, they're in the Division 3 class. So if I can kind of show you guys here, this might work if I share my screen to give you this view. Let's see. So here you guys can kind of see, this is how many golfers we have at Division 1. So that's why we have so many Division 1 classes offered. This is the number of kids we have at Division 2 at 25 yards. And then these are the kids at 3 and 4. So all of these kids, the hope is that they're registered for a Division 1 class, a Division 2 class, and then a Division 3 is going to be 3 and 4. And as more kids are moving out of these and moving forward and getting better, and we're having more kids go through the program, we might even have a class that's just for Division 4 or just for Division 3. But that is, we kind of found that it was very unclear how you move up to the next level. So now it should be, so really good question. Somebody asked, what happens if they move up to the next division during the session? So let's say that this upcoming week here comes and somebody passes their yardage on the first try here. We have talked about that a lot. And what we said is that they'll stay in that class unless they're really, really passionate that they really want to go to the next class. So the reason that is, I know that's kind of a frustrating thing, but the reason that is for our coach to player ratio. So in all of the classes, we have 12 kids and 2 coaches, so a 6-to-1 ratio of kids to coaches. So if we were to move kids up during the session, then we might have a bunch of kids in one class with not enough coaches, if that makes sense. And safety is always like a big priority for us. So that's the reason for that. If any of your kids are wanting to go out and attempt it before the season starts, let me know. We'll be out there. We could always get them a scorecard and find a time for them to go attempt if they would like an attempt prior to the season starting, like say before June, to make sure they sign up for the right class. But everybody should be in a good spot right now just because of kind of a little winter rust, unless everybody's been practicing like crazy inside. But for the most part, everybody should be in the right class from where they were in the fall. But that's a great question. Anything else? Any other questions? Let's see, I have another one. So somebody asked, so will 100 kids be in or be with 25s like before? So no, that's kind of what, like one of the reasons for this change of these classes is because let's say a 10-year-old who is just starting, maybe was in the same class as a 10-year-old who has been at it for a long time. So what we're basically doing is like trying to reward kids for passing and going to 50 and going to 100. So the kids that are in that Division 3 are kids that are at 100 or 150 yards. Unless there's kids who are like quite a bit older and are going to be super excited by being in class with kids from, like 7 to 10 years old. So that's a really good question about what days the different levels are. So Tuesday, we have Division 1 from 4 to 5 and Division 2 from 5 to 6. When these are just the classes, keep in mind. So everybody goes to the same 9-hole event and the same practice, just to be clear. Wednesdays are Division 1 4 to 5 and Division 2 5 to 6. Thursday is Division 1, again, another class, like I said, because we have so many kids at Division 1. That's from 4 to 5. And then Division 3 is on Thursday from 5 to 6. So that Division 3 group, it in the past was kind of like a mixture of the train to compete, train to excel. A lot of the 50-yard kids were at train to compete as well. So this just helps it be a little more set in stone. And hopefully that is also helpful for you guys. Instead of wondering when to level them up, now you know if they pass, if they go to 100 in a semester, then okay, next time we're signing them up for the higher group. So is that Marco? Hi, Marco. All righty, you guys. If anybody has any more questions, don't hesitate. You are welcome to ask. I'll hang out on here. This is recorded, so I'll send this out. But if you guys have any questions, you can refer back to it, or you can always shoot me an email or call. Great. Thank you, guys. I'm excited. Thanks, Maggie. Yeah, thank you guys. Excited to see your kiddos soon. It'll be fun.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Hi. Thanks.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I have kind of a specific question. So I just logged in my kids and then I had to apply for enrollment. So
okay.
They're all fine, right? But
yeah, yep. So basically I just have to go in and accept that and put them in there. So that's awesome.
Okay.
So basically like the alternative would be I would see you log in and I'd say, oh, okay, that family, those kids, they're in this class, I'll go put them in. But it's super easy and it helps me out. If you request it, that's awesome. So like when you guys do it again, just keep doing that and then I'll put it in their class.
Awesome. Thanks much. Thanks for doing this too.
Yeah, excited to meet you. It'll be fun.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Hey Maggie, are you still there?
Yeah. How's it going, Bridget?
Good. So Marco and Wesley, I have Marco got 36 on his last try at the end of last time.
Okay, cool.
But it was too hard, I think, with the different divisions to try and get them like one and then take one and then pick the other one up. So I signed them both up for Division 1 again. Do you think that's cool?
That's totally fine. Yeah. So that happened a lot with some siblings. I kind of said, hey, if you can figure out the schedule to put them in separate, awesome. But so since he passed in the fall and it's been a while since we've all been golfing.
Yeah.
It's going to be perfect.
And it was by the skin of his teeth. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It'll be okay to
you were battling. You worked so hard. You got it. But moving on to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah,
great. Thanks.
Yes, of course. If you guys on here have any other questions, let me know.